welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am making it my 2023 goal to post more YouTube videos. We'll see how successful that goes. Today, a couple things arrived in the post that I am very excited about. So I got a couple things from Plouise, and I've also got a couple things from Pinkhoney. TikTok has definitely persuaded me to buy these things, I'm not gonna lie. These are things that you've probably already seen all over, and I have picked up a couple bits to try today. So these are going to be my first impressions. Literally, they arrived today, and I think one of the other things arrived like a couple weeks ago, and I haven't even opened it yet, purely for the purpose of this video. So today is the day. I posted this look on my Instagram the other day, and you guys really wanted a tutorial for it. So you ask and I shall give. So I'm going to incorporate my first thoughts with this look, you know, so we can kill two birds in one stone. Everything in said box. So I haven't done anything to my face other than prep my skin first. I'm going to start off with brows. Now I'm pretty sure you would have seen this all over TikTok by now. The Honey Glue Original Super Hold by Pinkhoney, of course. And they actually give you a little spoolie that comes with it as well, which I think is really cute. And I've been looking for a product to hold my brows in place because I don't really have thick brows. They are quite thin. Like whenever I use like a brow gel to hold them in place. Other than they've got to be like brow and edge tamer. Really found anything else that has held my brows in place, and I do really like that kind of laminated look. It smells absolutely divine. It smells like lollipops. So it has like a hole in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. That's apparently where the spoolie is going to go, and then we're going to build up the product. I believe that you wet this first. I could be wrong, but what I've seen is that everybody's wetting it and then they're getting the product, because I think it's literally just like solid other than that. So I'm just going to like wet it and then go from there. It round and hope for the best. It's doing something. Hold on. I've seen again everybody else doing is like just running this through their brows first. Get all the product in there. This is quite like a similar technique to like blocking out the brows initially. Oh, I'm liking this so far. I'm going to be interested to see how this holds. I have to do like a longevity test another day because it's literally like 8 o'clock in the evening right now, and I'm not planning to go anywhere. It's not like too waxy, which is funny because you would think like it actually being a wax pot that it would be. My finger, I always find that sort of works really well to kind of push any of the excess product off as well. To be honest, I don't think I have the best brows. Mine are quite thin and fine, and once the brows are brushed up, I've just seen people just kind of giving it a little bit. It seems like it's holding well. Doesn't look like there's a lot of residue as well, which is quite nice. A lot of the times the brow products I've used that are like this, they kind of leave quite a bit of residue on the skin. So if you don't fully remove it, then when you put your foundation on, it kind of goes all gross and like cakey. I feel my brows are like really held in place. Like I feel like I've literally got Botox and I've kind of naturally lifted my eyebrows. And you see the difference in how they look. I have like a lot of brow hairs, but they are quite unruly. So they don't really like to stay in place as much as I'd like them to. This side there's like a little bit more product build up, but that's probably just me applying like too much rather than the actual product itself. Okay, so I definitely feel like this eyebrow is better, but to be honest, this is my better eyebrow of the two. Like this one just, we're not going to talk about it, it's not good. I'm really liking like the shape that I can see there. There is a tiny bit of residue, so I'm just going to remove that with a wipe just to be sure. I'm just going to fill in any gaps in my brows, and I'm just going to go in with the Lancôme Brow Define Pencil. This is in the shade Chestnut. I can definitely do with a darker eyebrow pencil now that my hair is darker. Yeah, see on this side, this eyebrow just doesn't ever really stick down, so I'm not really surprised that it's not stuck down as well as this one. Just here, I don't know why the hairs are like really thick. I was a teenager and I stupidly overplucked my eyebrows and has never really forgiven me for it. All these kind of products, even seeing them on TikTok, it's definitely worth like trying them out for yourself because they might not be suitable for you. It is literally just a trial and error, even though everybody says you know that it's amazing and that you should go and buy it. Definitely just a try, but don't be disappointed if it's not the right product for you. Are going to be products out there that you experience in your life that won't be right for you, but that's the best thing about makeup is you can try it, and if it doesn't suit you, you can always remove it. I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out so far. A bit of concealer, and this is another product that's going absolutely crazy on TikTok at the minute especially. I've actually had these. I don't want to be that person that's like, I had this before everybody else did, but like I've literally had these since when they first came out, before they became like a massive thing on TikTok. I'm like really happy to see that they're getting the hype, and Holly's getting the hype that she deserves, because these are literally the best full coverage concealer I think I've ever used. You can literally see like how battered mine is. I've had it for a little while now. So I've actually got two shades which I tend to mix. I do fake tan. Obviously my face is lighter than my neck, so I kind of do mixed shades, but I use these at the minute mainly just to kind of brighten my under eyes. This is the shade SF1W. I'm gonna take a little bit to carve the brows out now. Yeah, so I can kind of see like where there's a teeny little bit of residue that's still underneath my eyes that I haven't removed properly, but that's okay. It is all trial and error. I'm going to blend away concealer. You can literally see how it's just completely like blocked out my lid space. I always recommend to even out your lid space before ever applying eyeshadow. If you apply shadow straight onto the lids without blocking them out first, you can literally see like all the veins on your lids, and the eyeshadow is just gonna not do anything. It's just gonna be like bleh. Okay, so now we have a blank canvas. I'm gonna go in with the eyeshadow. So the eyeshadow with this look is fairly basic. Inspo from a Kylie pic that she posted on her Instagram. I love how like subtle it was, but it just kind of really had like this nice fox eye feline effect to it. Brand new Plouise Timeless Pleasures palette. That was quite a lot to say. I was trying to get my hands on the bridal one, but literally they were sold out everywhere, so I couldn't find it. This was the next best option, which I was pretty happy with. The pans are so much bigger, but obviously you do get less shades in this. I'm still really obsessed with all the colours in it. So, but literally, like, look at that. It's just, oh my god, isn't it just like the soft glam dream? Just love as well how like P. Louise packages everything. It just reminds me of like my jewellery boxes and like Polly Pockets and things I had as a child. Maybe I'm showing my age there. But anyway, like it just reminds me of that, and I'm obsessed with it. Like that's so cute, like I love it. I think I'm going to go in with Unconditional first, because I feel like this is quite a nice like base transition colour. I go in and pat back out any creases that might have formed. This is on your eyelid to actually affect your eyeshadow, so we want to make sure they're all nice and smoothed out. Oh yeah, this is exactly the kind of transition shade I had in mind. And I'm just blending that into my socket. Stunning Han. This is a shade Unconditional in the P. Louise Timeless palette. I'm actually going to take it like a little bit below my lash line, and you will see why in a few steps. I go in with the Fortune shade in this palette, a little bit of warmth to it. Tap off any excess on my brush. These shadows are literally a dream to blend. Just blend on their own really, like you're not really having to do too much work with them, which is great. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little bit of a kind of very subtle wing. So I'm going to go in, I think, with Beyond Measure, obviously again in the same palette. I'm basically just going to smoke that along my lash line. Getting a really thin wing, bring it down kind of below where I normally would put a wing, and again this will be explained why a bit later on. Out into kind of creating this sort of smoky wing so much quicker than it looks. Obviously when I'm not filming and not talking, I can get this done in like 5 minutes, my eyes. Is I'm going to take that wipe that I used earlier, really kind of crisp up this liner. It looks a lot thinner now that I've removed that excess product, and it is definitely giving us more of that snatch vibe. Go in with a brown liner, Lancôme Idôle Ultra Precise Waterproof Eyeliner, and this is in Syrup Brown. This is a brand new launch from Lancôme, and I'm absolutely obsessed with the original black liner already. And the fact that they brought it out in different colours is just mwah. This is literally a smudge proof, life proof eyeliner, I like to call it. It does not budge. Once it is on and it's set, it literally lasts for 24 hours. It's probably one of the best and easiest eyeliners I've ever used, and I'm not just saying that, it really is a great product. Such a nice like alternative to a black. It's a lot softer. This is so nice, and it's definitely going to be a key product I think in like soft glam bridal season this year. Definitely going to be using it. I did actually post another video as well about the Idôle liners in more depth, so if you want to see that, click my previous video. And even though I do work for Lancôme, I am genuinely not being biased when I say I love this eyeliner. I use it every single day. On my social media, you will know that I rant and rave about the black one of these. And at the minute, I have been ranting and raving about the colours. Not only do I work for Lancôme, I am an affiliate for them as well. So if you do shop any of the Lancôme products that I leave in my links, I will get a percentage of commission for any purchases that you do make. I will leave all those links in my bio in the description box below. And of course, I will leave all the links for any of the other products I've used today in the description box below as well. But I am not an affiliate for them. I'm just an affiliate for Lancôme. So that is the eyeshadow part done. I'm going to move on to the base. Now, I'm sure you've seen this trend literally everywhere, but I'm going to do a little bit of underpainting today with the Lancôme Teint Idôle Ultra Wear All Over Concealer in the shade 07. But these concealers, literally so nice. And again, I'm not just saying that. And they are great for cream contouring as well. They're like a really hydrating concealer. They're really good if you've got like a drier skin type or dry areas on your skin. It does look a little bit crazy to begin with. It's definitely a trust the process moment. So I like to go in with the contour first. Just because if you're applying the highlight first and then the contour, like muddy looking, definitely kind of cancels it out, because obviously, like, imagine if I was putting this on top of the highlighter, it is just going to look a little bit mental. That, just kind of blending that into my hairline. I'm leaving the nose for the moment because I have another product that I am very excited to try. Okay, so you can see where I've put the contour in with the H&B Cosmetics concealer, and I'm just going to pop it kind of in like a few little dots here. Bring it in an upwards motion, lips, so it's going to give it kind of that lifted, snatched appearance. So I'm just blending that highlight in. I kind of just like to blend the concealers in first and then go over my foundation, because I find that way you've already popped the placement down. So if you're popping the foundation on top and then just trying to blend them all in together, I find that it kind of just sort of meshes more together, so you can't really see that definition that you're wanting from this technique. Okay, so that is the underpaint or blended in. Foundation, I'm going to go in with a very exciting new formulation of the Lancôme Teint Idôle Ultra Wear. So yes, the iconic Teint Idôle foundation has had a formula update, but do not fret. If you love this foundation, everything about it has stayed the same. It's still the 24-hour wear, and it still has that buildable full coverage, 45 shades, and that all-day protection as well. What is different about it? Powered by advanced airwear technology, meaning that it feels lightweight on the skin, and I can honestly say it is lightweight. This foundation feels like nothing. It doesn't feel like anything is on your skin, because what my preference is in foundation, I love that full coverage, but I don't like it to feel like it's a full coverage foundations. Is an absolute game changer in my eyes. So the great news with this as well is that the shades have been adapted. There is a new shades classification. So basically what that means is that they have adapted the pigments in there to suit everybody. So I am sure that there'll be a foundation match suitable for you. And it has an SPF 35 in it. The old formula did have an SPF 15, so even more sun protection now, which of course is such an important thing to have. So this is going to be relaunching on the 22nd of February. I'm going to shade 250W, and this is a great colour for me when I have tan on. So I'm taking only really a small amount. Obviously, I don't want to go over too much of the underpainting that we have done. So I'm just buffing this in with a brush too. Sometimes I use a brush and sometimes I use a sponge. I feel like my skin has different days where it just prefers different things. So give it a go and see what works best for me at the time. Of course, compared to my natural skin tone on my face, it obviously looks a lot darker. We are more matching towards my neck. You can literally see how stunning is this foundation, like how flawless does it look. Love this. I've had the opportunity to try this quite a few times already. I can honestly say I think it's going to be one of my favourite foundations. Remembering as well that skin is skin, so you're still going to have texture, you're still going to have pores, things like that, and foundation is never going to get rid of that. It's going to be your prep that goes into your skin beforehand. So texture is completely normal. And do not worry about that, because even though it looks really flawless, when you look up close you can still see the textures of where I have spots, where I've got pores, any fine lines and things like that too, so I try not to worry too much. So next I'm going to go in with the H&B Cosmetics concealer again, but this one is the shade SF0.5N. A kind of small amount of it because it is quite bright, and I'm just placing this one dot there and then one dot to lift. And then just underneath my cheekbones to give it a little bit of definition. And I'm just going to wait for that to go a little bit tacky. Being like a brighter under eye concealer, I like to leave it for a little bit longer because I feel like it kind of works a lot better for me personally. It kind of gives that brightness. It doesn't blend too quickly into the rest of the foundation and making it darker. Go in with the Pixie pen, Viral Iconic Nose Contour Pen. I'll be honest, even though I'm a makeup artist, I'm not the best at doing nose contour on myself. I can do it on anyone else, but personally, on me, I just can't seem to get it right. I'm very excited to see how this works for me, because what I do tend to kind of struggle with is getting that really kind of small, precise line. No matter what brush I use, I just feel like it just kind of ends up looking really muddy. It's just not as precise as I'd like, because I'm not really a big fan of my nose, I'll be completely honest. Literally just mapped out on my nose. It kind of looks a little bit sus, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go in with a brush and just kind of diffuse this line. Yeah, I think I'm already obsessed. Yes, that was so easy as well. Oh my gosh, that was actually the easiest nose contour I've ever done in my life. So quick, that's gonna save me so much time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 10 out of 10, recommend that. So it's the Pinkhoney Pixie Pen Nose Contour shade. What shade have I got? I've got Bora Bora Baby. I'm gonna go and blend in my brighter concealer. So I feel like you can see really it just kind of brings that brightness to the under eye. Go with a brush and then just kind of diffuse any edges, because I feel like you can't really get in there, even with a smaller beauty blender, you can't really get in there and diffuse the edges. Just blending in the rest of the concealer. Brush edges, I go back in with more of the foundation brush, and I'm just going to go in and set my face with some powder. What I use is a Collection 2001. That's so affordable. Pressed powder, obviously well loved, and this is in the shade Ivory, so I actually do think this is a little bit light for me when I tan. Kind of just lighting up the foundation if I'm looking a little bit too orange. It was like $3.99 or something in Superdrug. My Brushworks Powder Puff in and just bake a little bit under the eye. So I kind of saturate my powder puff, and then I'm just going to kind of tap off any excess on the back of my hand. Press this right under my under eye. I saw this tip by Painted by Spencer the other day, and I actually thought it was just such a logical idea, and it makes so much sense because I find when I bake, obviously I'm bringing it right under here, so when I then put my bronzer and everything on, it kind of goes a little bit caked here. So he literally just took a clean brush and he just diffused the edges. A great tip if you get those smile lines is to take a little bit of powder, and it's going to look a bit crazy, but you just blow out your cheeks and then dab the powder in. That will essentially like fill those laughter lines. Brush away any excess. And then I'm just going to bronze the skin. I really need some good bronzer recommendations. I tried to get the Pinkhoney cream bronzers, but they literally, all the shades I think would suit me are sold out everywhere. So if anyone's got any great recommendations for a bronzer that's not too orangey, let me know. I always like to bronze first and then go in with a slightly smaller brush and kind of focus the bronzer a little bit more in certain areas. Just finding out the right placement for your face. That'll be the way it will look most natural for you. Then I'm going to put a teeny little bit of bronzer on my nose. Even though the Pinkhoney nose pen has done most of the work for me. I go in with some blush. And I definitely need to get on the Mama Mitchell blush hype, because everybody I've seen on TikTok and everywhere has been using them, and I just feel like I need to get on the hype. I just haven't tried them yet, so that definitely I think will be next on my list of things to try. Look how my lashes. Then I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Wild Lash Mascara. I'm loving this mascara at the minute for a little bit of thickness. Look at the difference in my lashes, it's just insane. And then the key to this look is a half lash. So I've been using the Kiss Lashes Falscara. I will say not in the right way. I have just been using these as kind of like a half lash rather than the actual way that they're supposed to be used. Like you bond them to your lashes and they're kind of like an individual lash that lasts up to 5 days or a week. I bought this thinking it came with the bond and seal and it didn't. So I've just been using them as a half lash at the minute, but I really like the look of them. So I will purchase the bond and seal at some point and do these properly. But I've kind of just got like a little pre-made cluster of these already. You'll see the difference that these have made. That's like the pre-made outer corner stuck on, and I'm just going to take another one of the sections because there's obviously quite a big gap here, so I don't want that. So I'm just going to apply another little section top there. Like a half lash just finishes any eye look off for me. I just think it really kind of makes it. And then finally we're going to move on to lips. I picked up a couple lip liners from Plouise. I got the shades Temptation and the shade Loyal. Smoochy lip pencil crayons. I've got like a really nice kind of everyday nude shade, which is Temptation. A darker shade as well, which is the Loyal. Then use like a really pale lip colour to kind of get that ombre look. It's great for deeper skin toned clients I have as well. So I'm going to go in with Temptation. That's really nice. I like that. Like it's a really lovely shade. Just glide really easily on the lips as well. Like I've got quite dry lips and they just blended really well. And then I'm going to go in with one of my actual everyday favourite nudes. Lancôme Absolute Rouge Drama Matte in the shade 510. This is just like a really beautiful nude. That is the finished look. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I am absolutely obsessed with how this turned out. I feel like it's so much better than the original look that I did. I'm obsessed, especially with that Pinkhoney Pixie Nose contour pen. I don't know how I'm going to live without that now. I'm going to have to literally repurchase it every time it runs out. Let me know if there's anything in the comments that you absolutely love that I've shown today. And I will leave all the links to the products in the description box below. Please remember to subscribe and follow me on all of my socials. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!